Leo adjusted the controls of his small hovercraft as it skimmed above the jagged terrain of planet Orvella. The sky glowed in shades of green and gold, and strange crystal formations jutted from the ground like frozen lightning. He had been sent with a small human team to recover an alien research group stranded after a failed experiment. The reports had been clear. Orvella was dangerous, but Leo had never backed down from danger. His partner, a human scientist named Mara, tapped the side of the console nervously. "Leo, the readings are off the charts. That storm is moving faster than predicted." "We should wait," Leo shook his head. "If we wait, the research team might not survive." "I'm going in." He took a deep breath, gripping the controls tighter. The hovercraft swooped down through the forests, the wind whipping against their visors. The trees were tall, their trunks shimmering with a soft, pulsing light. Strange creatures scuttled among the branches, but none seemed hostile. Leo's attention was fixed on the location of the distress signal. When they reached the coordinates, the scene made Leo's heart skip a beat. A massive structure of alien design had collapsed in part. Crystals hung like broken glass, and smoke rose from small fires. From the rubble, a faint signal pulsed. It was the source of the distress beacon. "Stay here," Leo told Mara. "I'll check it out." Mara hesitated. "Leo, it's too dangerous." "You could—" "I have to," Leo interrupted. "If someone is alive, I can't just leave them." He activated his survival suit and carefully stepped onto the broken ground. The structure was uneven and sharp, and each step was a challenge. Crystals underfoot hummed as if sensing his presence, but he ignored them, focusing on the faint pulsing signal. After a few tense minutes, he saw her. Princess Mira of the Orvellian Kingdom was trapped under a large piece of crystal debris. Her white and gold uniform was torn, and her breathing was shallow. Her eyes widened as she saw Leo approaching. "You're human?" she asked, her voice weak. "I'm here to help," Leo said firmly. "Hold on, I'm going to get you out." He examined the debris. It was heavy, heavier than anything a human could move alone. But Leo had always been good at thinking quickly under pressure. He activated his hover boots and lifted part of the crystal. Sparks flew and the crystal shifted slightly. Mira winced, but he reassured her. "Almost there. Don't move." Minutes felt like hours, but finally he freed her arm. Mira tried to pull herself free, but pain shot through her body. Leo grabbed her carefully, lifting her against his chest. Her body was frail, but her eyes held a quiet strength. "You're strong," she said softly. "Not many humans would come here for me." Leo smiled despite the danger. "I don't leave anyone behind." A sudden tremor shook the ground. More of the structure collapsed nearby, sending shards of crystal flying. Leo pushed Mira behind a large rock just as a shard narrowly missed them. He could hear the distant sound of the storm approaching, faster than he had expected. "We need to move now," he said. Mira nodded, placing her trust in this human who risked everything for her. Together they made their way toward the hovercraft, dodging falling debris. Leo used every ounce of his strength and balance to shield her. The crystals underfoot hummed violently as if warning them, but he ignored the sound, focusing only on the path ahead. When they finally reached the hovercraft, Mara rushed forward. "Thank the stars. I thought I might lose you." Leo lifted Mira gently into the craft. "We're not out of danger yet. Hold tight." As Mara started the engines, Leo scanned the area. Rival alien factions were known to roam this sector, drawn by signals of distress. The team was lucky that no one had arrived yet, but he knew it was only a matter of time. The hovercraft lifted smoothly, carrying them above the wreckage. Mira leaned against Leo, still shaken. I thought I would die here," she admitted. "You're safe now," Leo said. "That's all that matters." For the first time, Mira smiled faintly. "You're very brave, human. Most of my people would have waited for reinforcements. You acted alone," Leo shrugged. "Sometimes waiting is the worst choice. You taught me that." Her smile faded as she glanced toward the horizon. "The Queen will not be pleased to hear that a human has interfered in Orvellian matters." Leo frowned. "The Queen?" "My mother," Mira explained. "She is cautious and protective. She may see your actions as reckless," Leo nodded. "I don't expect thanks. I just wanted to make sure you lived." The hovercraft began its journey toward the palace. The storm that had been approaching earlier was now close, and lightning danced across the alien sky. The craft shook and Leo kept his hands steady on the controls. Mira watched him with quiet admiration. "You humans are different from what I expected," she said. "In what way?" Leo asked, glancing at her. You are fearless yet careful, strong yet kind. Most of my people see humans as reckless and weak. You are neither. Leo felt a warmth in his chest at her words, but he remained focused. I've had to survive many challenges. You might say I learned quickly. The hovercraft entered a valley filled with glowing plants. The air was dense but breathable, a unique ecosystem that thrived on the planet's energy. Mira looked around, amazed at the beauty despite the danger they had faced. You saved me, she said quietly. I owe you my life. Leo smiled. Then let's make sure you keep it safe. Suddenly, the craft's sensors detected movement. Figures were emerging from the forests. Alien soldiers, heavily armored, were approaching fast. Leo tensed. Mara, we have company. Prepare the defensive systems. Mara activated the shields and small energy turrets. They're not attacking yet, just observing. Leo's eyes narrowed. They're deciding if we are a threat. We have to be ready to move fast. The aliens advanced closer. Mira looked at Leo with fear in her eyes. They are not friendly, she said. They won't get us, Leo said firmly. Not if I can help it. He activated the hovercraft's thrusters and shot upward into the sky. The aliens followed, but Leo knew the terrain better. He maneuvered skillfully between crystal spires and floating rocks. The enemy was fast, but human reflexes and quick thinking allowed him to stay ahead. After several tense minutes, the aliens stopped pursuing. Leo and Mira breathed a sigh of relief. Mara checked the systems. We're clear for now, but we need to reach the palace before the storm hits fully. The palace was visible in the distance, its towers glowing with bioluminescent light. It looked almost magical against the green-gold sky. Mira leaned against the side of the craft, exhausted but grateful. You risked everything for me, she said softly. Most would not do the same. Leo shook his head. I did what anyone would do. You needed help and I was here, that is all. Mira's gaze lingered on him. No, human. Most would have run. Most would have waited. You are different. Leo smiled, feeling a rare sense of pride. Then I guess I'm glad I was different. As they approached the palace, the storm loomed closer, but the path was clear. Leo guided the hovercraft down to a landing platform. Palace guards rushed forward, their weapons ready, but they stopped when they saw Mira safe. The human had done what no one else dared. He had crossed into alien territory, defied danger, and saved the princess. The storm would not stop them, but what awaited Leo at the palace was a challenge of a different kind. Mira stepped forward, steadying herself. The queen will want to speak with you, she said. I hope she sees the truth of your actions. Leo nodded. I hope she understands that I did not act for reward. I acted to save a life. As they walked into the palace, the glow of the towers reflected in Leo's eyes. He had survived the planet, but now he would face the scrutiny of an entire civilization. And somewhere deep inside, he knew that this was only the beginning. The palace of Orvella rose high above the forests, its towers glowing softly in green and gold light. Leo stepped carefully across the smooth floor, still carrying the weight of Princess Mira's rescue in his mind. Every step he took was observed by palace guards, their eyes sharp, their posture perfect. He had faced storms, falling debris, and hostile terrain, but now he was entering a challenge of a different kind. Princess Mira walked beside him, her steps quiet but determined. She had recovered enough from her injuries to move on her own, though she still leaned slightly on Leo's arm. The queen will be very strict, she said quietly. She has seen humans only in distant reports. She may not understand your actions, Leo nodded. I don't expect to be thanked. I just want her to know I saved your life for the right reason. Mira gave him a small smile. That is enough for me. But my mother, she is different. The hallways of the palace were wide and filled with soft light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. The floor shimmered with strange symbols that glowed when stepped on. Leo's human senses were overwhelmed, but he focused on Mira, following her through the maze-like corridors toward the queen's chamber. Finally, they arrived at a large set of doors made of crystal. Guards stood on either side, their armor reflecting the soft light. Mira took a deep breath and motioned for Leo to step forward. Your Majesty, she said, bowing slightly, this is the human who saved me. The doors opened slowly, revealing Queen Solara. She was tall and regal, her form adorned in golden robes that reflected the palace lights. Her eyes, large and bright, studied Leo carefully. Every inch of her posture radiated authority. Human, the queen said. her voice clear and commanding. "You have entered my world uninvited and acted in ways most would consider reckless." "Explain yourself." Leo stood tall, meeting her gaze. "Your Majesty, I did not act out of recklessness. The princess was in danger. I could not leave her behind. That is all I have to say." The queen's eyes narrowed slightly, but she remained silent for a moment. The tension in the room was heavy. Leo could feel the weight of her judgment pressing down, but he did not flinch. "Most of my people," the queen continued, "would see a human as weak and impulsive. You have proven otherwise, yet you are in my kingdom without permission. You have risked more than your own life." Leo nodded. "I understand. I knew the risks, but I could not ignore someone in danger, not when it was the princess." Queen Solara's gaze shifted to Mira. The princess stood quietly, her eyes showing both relief and admiration. "Do you confirm this, Mira?" the queen asked. "I do, mother," Mira replied softly. "Human Leo saved my life. He risked everything to reach me. I owe him more than words can say." The queen's gaze returned to Leo. "Your courage is undeniable, but your actions have consequences. Orvelian law does not allow humans free passage into our lands. You must remain under my authority until I decide your fate." Leo bowed his head slightly. "I will respect your rules. I only want to help and ensure Princess Mira's safety." Queen Solara studied him silently, weighing her decision. Finally, she spoke. "Very well. You will remain here. You will live in the palace under guard. Your skills and intelligence will be tested. Only then will I decide your role in Orvelian society." Leo nodded. "I accept your judgment." Mira stepped closer to him. "Do not be afraid," she whispered. "You have my trust. That counts for something." Leo smiled faintly. "It counts for everything." The queen motioned for guards to lead Leo to a secure living area within the palace. The room was spacious, with walls made of glowing crystal and furniture crafted from organic shapes that seemed alive. He could see the vast gardens outside the window, and the view took his breath away. Even in danger, the beauty of Orvella was undeniable. As the guards left, Mira stayed behind for a moment. "You will be tested," she said, "not only for strength, but for your mind, your courage, and your ability to adapt. Many have failed, even those born here." Leo leaned against the window, looking at the floating gardens. "I'm ready for whatever comes," he said. Mira nodded. "Good, I will watch and help when I can. But you must succeed on your own." The next morning, Leo was brought to the palace training grounds. The area was massive, filled with structures and devices that challenged every ability of the mind and body. Orvelian soldiers trained here, but Leo was to face his trials alone. The first test was one of strength. Leo was presented with an alien device designed to lift heavy objects using both physical power and mental focus. Many Orvelians could not operate it successfully at first, their muscles or minds failing to connect with the device. Leo studied the device carefully. He noticed the way it responded to subtle gestures and mental commands. Taking a deep breath, he focused. Slowly, the object lifted and then rose steadily higher. Guards and instructors watched in astonishment. Human determination and adaptability allowed him to master the device in minutes, where others had struggled for hours. Next came a test of intelligence. A holographic puzzle appeared, shifting constantly and requiring rapid calculations, logic, and pattern recognition. Leo's mind raced, analyzing each change. While some of the alien soldiers appeared overwhelmed, he adjusted quickly, seeing patterns they missed. Within moments, the puzzle resolved and a light signaled success. Queen Solara observed from a distance, her face unreadable. She had heard stories of human ingenuity, but seeing it firsthand was different. Leo's courage and ability to adapt were rare qualities, even among the most trained Orvelians. The final test was one of loyalty and decision-making. Leo was presented with a scenario in which he had to choose between saving a group of humans or alien lives. Each choice was difficult, and hesitation could cost lives. Leo paused, considering carefully. He realized that true courage meant making choices that valued life and integrity over personal gain. He acted decisively, saving the group while ensuring minimal harm to others. When the trial ended, guards reported back to the queen. "Human Leo has passed all tests with skill beyond most Orvelians," they said. Queen Solara's expression softened slightly. "You are impressive, human," she said. "Yet you are not free. You must remain under my authority until I am certain your presence here benefits Orvella." Leo bowed. "I understand, Your Majesty." I will serve as needed. My only wish is to protect Princess Mira and this kingdom. Mira approached him, her eyes filled with quiet pride. You have done more than survive, Leo. You have proven your worth. Leo smiled. I could not have done it without seeing the danger clearly. That was my guide. The days that followed were filled with training and observation. Leo learned Orwellian customs, their technology, and their strategies for defending the kingdom. He worked alongside alien soldiers, earning respect through courage and determination. Mira visited him often, offering guidance and encouragement. Slowly, a bond began to form. Mira admired his bravery, intelligence, and compassion. Leo admired her wisdom, her strength, and her quiet courage. Neither spoke of it openly, but the connection was clear. One evening, as the twin moons of Orwella rose high in the sky, Mira and Leo walked in the palace gardens. The air was calm and glowing plants bathed the path in soft light. You have changed the way I see humans, Mira said. I once thought you reckless and fragile. Now I see strength and honor. Leo looked at her. And I have learned that even the most advanced civilizations have challenges I can help with. Sometimes it takes a different perspective to solve problems. Mira smiled. You are not just a human, Leo. You are a friend, a protector, and perhaps more. Leo felt a warmth in his chest he could not explain. I will do everything I can to deserve that trust. But the Queen's voice echoed in the back of his mind. He was not free, and the future held challenges beyond anything he had faced. The bond with Mira was strong, but it would be tested. Leo understood that Orwella's world was beautiful but dangerous, and that courage alone would not be enough. As they returned to the palace, Leo prepared himself for the next stage of his journey. The Queen had made her demand clear. He must remain under her authority, and he must prove that humans could be more than what others expected. Leo was ready. The storm of challenges was just beginning. The morning sun rose over the Orwellian palace, painting the sky with golden and green hues. Leo stood in the courtyard, watching soldiers train with weapons and devices that were completely alien to him. The palace had become his home, yet he still felt like a visitor in a world so different from Earth. Despite that, he knew he had to earn trust, not only from the Queen but also from the people he had come to protect. Princess Mira approached him, her long robes flowing behind her. Today begins a new phase, she said. You have passed the initial tests, but now you must prove yourself in ways that measure loyalty, adaptability, and understanding. The trials are not just about strength, they are about character. Leo nodded. I am ready. Tell me what I must do. Mira smiled faintly. You will see. Follow me. They walked through the palace gates into a vast training complex. The area was filled with strange machines and structures that seemed alive. Holographic walls displayed shifting landscapes and platforms floated above the ground, moving unpredictably. Leo's eyes widened as he took it all in. The first trial is called the Path of Harmony, Mira explained. You must navigate through a series of obstacles while protecting a group of orbs that represent our people's knowledge and history. If you fail to keep them safe, you will not pass. Leo studied the setup. The orbs floated on energy platforms that reacted to movement. One false step, and the orbs could fall or shatter. He took a deep breath, relying on his training and instincts. He began carefully, moving from platform to platform. Some moved quickly, others rotated or tilted. He adjusted his steps, using his hands and feet to balance. A sudden surge of wind from a nearby turbine knocked him sideways, but he recovered quickly. Mira watched silently, her eyes sharp. Focus on balance, not speed, she had advised earlier. Leo repeated her words in his mind. Slowly, steadily, he moved through the platforms. When a platform threatened to tip, he shifted his weight, stabilizing it. He adjusted to the unpredictable movements, thinking ahead of the obstacles. Finally, he reached the last platform. All orbs were intact. Mira clapped softly. Impressive, Leo. Most Orwellians struggle with the first challenge. You completed it flawlessly. Leo exhaled, feeling a surge of pride. Thank you, Mira. I am learning quickly. The second trial tested intelligence and problem-solving. Holographic walls rose around him, displaying constantly changing patterns and symbols. The goal was to unlock the correct sequence to open a gate. Mistakes caused the patterns to reset. Leo studied the symbols. Some repeated, some were mirrored, and some shifted unexpectedly. His mind worked rapidly, finding connections and testing possibilities. After several tense minutes, he discovered the sequence. The gate opened with a soft chime and a new path appeared. Guards and instructors nodded in approval. "You see patterns differently than we do," Mira said quietly. "Your human perspective gives you an advantage in this trial." Leo smiled. Sometimes the unexpected view can solve the problem faster. The third trial was the most challenging. It tested trust, loyalty, and decision-making under pressure. Leo was presented with a scenario where he had to choose between helping a group of humans in danger or saving Orwellian children trapped in a simulated disaster. Hesitation or incorrect choices would lead to failure. Leo paused. He thought of the people he had left behind on Earth, the research teams, and his friends. He also thought of Mira and the Orwellian people he had grown to respect. He realized that the key was to act with both courage and wisdom, not just emotion. He made his choice carefully, guiding the simulation to save both groups with minimal risk. The system recognized his decision, and a soft light signaled success. Mira's eyes reflected quiet admiration. "Your choices show understanding, Leo," she said. "You think beyond yourself. That is rare among both humans and Orwellians." Leo nodded, feeling both relief and pride. "I do what I can to see the bigger picture." Despite his success, not everyone in the palace welcomed a human earning respect. A faction of advisors and soldiers whispered against him, calling him an outsider and a risk. Some openly questioned Mira's judgment in helping him. Leo noticed their glances but did not respond. He had faced dangers that were physical, mental, and emotional. Court politics, though subtle, would not defeat him. One afternoon, Mira found him in the palace gardens watching the glowing plants sway with the wind. "Leo," she said softly, "there are those who do not understand why you are here. They may try to make you doubt yourself." Leo turned to her. "I have faced worse than doubt. I have faced storms, collapsing structures, and life or death choices. This is just another challenge." Mira smiled faintly. "You are remarkable, but even the remarkable must sometimes earn trust beyond trials. The Queen watches closely. Your actions will be observed in the coming days." Leo's jaw tightened. "I will not fail. I will prove that humans can stand alongside your people." The next day brought a different trial. Leo was tasked with learning to operate Orwellian technology, a complex interface controlling defensive systems and energy shields. He had never seen anything like it, but he approached it with curiosity and determination. The interface responded to thought, touch, and subtle gestures. Leo experimented carefully, testing responses and adjusting his approach. Slowly, he mastered the system, understanding its nuances. Guards watching were impressed. Even the skeptics nodded in acknowledgement. "You adapt faster than most," Mira said later. "Your mind is a tool as much as your body." Leo smiled. "I have to be ready. This world is not forgiving." As days turned into weeks, Leo's bond with Mira grew stronger. She began to share stories of Orwella, its history, and its people. She explained how the kingdom had survived wars, natural disasters, and internal struggles. Leo listened intently, fascinated by a civilization so advanced, yet so connected to its values. Mira, in turn, learned about Earth. She was curious about humans, their innovations, and their struggles. Leo shared stories of courage, of teamwork, and of the human spirit. They laughed, debated, and sometimes disagreed, but a deep respect and understanding grew between them. Yet the palace faction that opposed Leo did not rest. They spread rumors about his intentions, questioning whether a human could truly be loyal to Orwella. Leo remained calm, focusing on his training and his mission. He had faced threats from nature, from enemies, and from uncertainty. The whispers of the court were minor in comparison. One evening, Queen Solara summoned him. Leo approached with steady steps, unsure of what to expect. The queen sat in her chamber, her expression unreadable. "You have proven yourself in trials," she said. "You have shown courage, intelligence, and loyalty. Yet trust is not fully earned by trials alone. It is earned by action in real situations." Leo nodded. "I understand, Your Majesty. I am ready for any challenge." The queen studied him carefully. "There are threats beyond our walls. You will face them. Your actions will determine not only your place in this kingdom, but the safety of our people." Leo bowed. "I will do everything in my power to protect Orvella." Mira watched from the side, her eyes reflecting pride and concern. She knew the challenges ahead would be dangerous, but she also knew Leo had the courage and skill to face them. The next weeks brought new responsibilities. Leo trained with soldiers in strategic planning, learned to operate defense systems, and participated in simulations of potential attacks. His presence became a source of intrigue and inspiration. Orvellian soldiers who had once doubted him began to respect his abilities. One day during a simulated attack, Leo's quick thinking saved the team from a critical failure. He anticipated enemy moves, coordinated defenses, and used both human intuition and Orvellian technology to turn the tide. Mira watched in awe as he managed situations most Orvellians would have struggled to control. When the simulation ended, she approached him. "You have done more than I expected," she said. "You are not just a visitor in our world. You are becoming one of us." Leo smiled. "I am learning. You and your people have shown me a new way to see the universe. I hope I can repay that trust someday." Mira placed a hand on his shoulder. "Trust is earned not only through actions but through character. You have both." Leo felt a sense of accomplishment. The trials had been difficult, and the whispers of doubt in the palace still lingered, but he had proven that humans could stand beside aliens not just in battle, but in thought, strategy, and loyalty. As night fell over the palace, the twin moons of Orvella cast soft light across the gardens. Leo walked beside Mira, reflecting on how far he had come. The queen's demand had been clear. He must remain under her authority. Yet through the trials, he had shown that courage, intelligence, and heart could overcome prejudice and fear. Leo understood that the journey was far from over. Greater challenges lay ahead, but he was ready. He had earned trust, not only from Mira and the queen, but from a civilization that had once doubted humans. And in the quiet moments, he realized that the bond he shared with Mira was more than friendship. It was a connection forged through courage, respect, and shared trials. It was a bond that would guide him through the challenges yet to come. The sky above Orvella glowed in deep green and gold as the twin moons rose. Leo stood on the palace battlements, looking out over the forests below. The beauty of the world was breathtaking, yet he knew that beauty could not shield the kingdom from danger. Rumors of hostile alien factions had grown louder in the past weeks. Scouts had reported movement in the outer forests, and tensions were high. Princess Mira joined him, her long robes fluttering in the light breeze. "The queen is concerned," she said softly. "Reports indicate that a faction from the neighboring sector may attempt to attack. They want to destabilize the kingdom and kidnap me." Leo's eyes narrowed. "We cannot let that happen. We have prepared defenses, but I want to see the full picture." Mira led him to the command center, a room filled with glowing panels and holographic maps. Soldiers and technicians worked quickly, monitoring sensors and energy shields. Leo studied the reports carefully. "They are organized and fast. This will not be a simple attack. We need strategy, not just force." The queen entered the room, her presence commanding attention. "Leo," she said, "I have observed your abilities. You have earned the trust of many here. Yet the true test comes now. Protect my daughter. Protect this kingdom and prove that humans can stand as allies to Orvellians." Leo bowed. "I will do my best, Your Majesty." Mira looked at him with quiet trust. "We will need every advantage," she said. "Your perspective as a human may help us anticipate moves they do not expect." Hours later, alarms blared across the palace. Sensors detected ships moving through the atmosphere, sleek and black with aggressive designs. The enemy had arrived. Guards and soldiers moved into positions, and Leo stood among them, preparing for the fight ahead. The first wave of ships descended quickly, firing energy pulses toward the palace shields. Leo studied their patterns, noticing small pauses and predictable angles. Using the Orvelian defense system he had learned to operate, he directed energy pulses to intercept the attack. One by one, enemy shots were deflected, though the shield shook under the force. Mira stood beside him, issuing commands to palace soldiers. "Focus on coordination. Do not panic," she said. Her voice was calm and steady, inspiring confidence. Leo responded quickly. He noticed a blind spot in the enemy formation. "Mira, their left flank is weak. We can redirect forces there and create an opening." Mira nodded. "Do it." Soldiers, follow his direction. Using both human tactics and Orvelian technology, Leo coordinated a counterattack. Shield shifted, energy pulses redirected, and automated turrets fired with precision. The enemy ships faltered, unable to adapt to the unexpected strategy. One ship broke through the outer defenses, heading straight toward the palace gardens. Leo acted instantly, guiding a defensive drone to intercept. The drone engaged, creating a barrier and forcing the ship to divert. Mira watched closely, impressed by his quick thinking. "Your actions are saving lives," she said quietly. "You are more than we expected." Leo focused on the battle, blocking distractions. The enemy adjusted, sending more ships toward the palace walls. Leo anticipated the moves, directing soldiers and systems with precision. Slowly, the tide began to turn. The enemy's confidence faltered as their plans were countered at every step. Finally, the last wave of ships attempted a final assault. Leo noticed their formation was overextended. "We have one chance to end this," he said. "Focus fire on their command ship. If we disable it, the others will retreat." Mira nodded and issued the orders. Leo guided the energy pulses with skill, calculating angles and timing with accuracy. The command ship faltered, then exploded in a burst of light. The remaining enemy vessels immediately retreated, leaving the skies above Orvella calm once more. The palace erupted in cheers. Guards and soldiers congratulated each other, but Leo remained at his post, ensuring no further threats approached. Mira approached him, her eyes shining with admiration. "You were incredible," she said softly. "Without your guidance, the palace might have fallen." Leo shook his head. "It was a team effort. I only helped coordinate what was already here." "Your people fought bravely," Mira smiled. "You do not give yourself enough credit. You saw what others could not. You acted quickly and wisely. That is why you are different." The Queen entered the command center, her presence commanding silence. She studied Leo carefully, her expression serious but approving. "Human Leo," she said, "you have done more than survive trials. You have defended this kingdom with courage and skill. You have earned not only my respect but the respect of our people." Leo bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only wish to serve and protect," the Queen continued, her voice firm. "You are not free yet. You will remain under my authority, but your role has changed. You are no longer a visitor or an observer. You are a defender of Orvella. The people look to you as a symbol of courage and hope." Leo felt a sense of honor. He had risked his life for Princess Mira, and now he was trusted to defend an entire civilization. It was a responsibility he accepted without hesitation. Mira stood beside him, her hand brushing lightly against his arm. "The people are beginning to see humans differently because of you," she said. "I am proud to have you by my side," Leo smiled. "I could not have done this without learning from you and your people. You have taught me as much as I have contributed." The days following the attack were filled with preparation. Leo worked with Orvelian engineers to improve defenses, coordinated training for soldiers, and studied enemy tactics. The palace was more secure, yet he knew that threats would always exist in the galaxy. One afternoon, Mira took Leo to a quiet balcony overlooking the glowing forests. The air was calm, and the light of the moons reflected off the crystal formations. "You have changed the way we see humans," Mira said softly. "Your courage and wisdom have earned trust beyond what many thought possible." Leo looked at the horizon. "I only did what I had to." "Courage is not about thinking you are strong. It is about doing what must be done even when fear is present." Mira nodded. "And you have shown that fear can be overcome with determination and intelligence." "You are remarkable, Leo." Leo felt a warmth in his chest at her words. "I am learning that true strength is not just physical. It is also about understanding, adapting, and caring for others." Mira smiled faintly. "You have more than proven yourself in trials. You have proven yourself in reality. That is what matters most." Despite the victory, Leo knew the battle had changed the palace. Factions that once doubted him now respected his skill and bravery. Yet he also knew that war could return at any time. Orvella's position in the galaxy made it a target, and other civilizations might not welcome humans. That night, as he patrolled the palace walls, Leo reflected on everything he had experienced. He had faced storms, collapsing structures, trials of strength and mind, and now a real attack from a hostile force. Each challenge had tested him, but he had survived, adapted, and earned respect. Mira joined him silently, looking out over the forests. "Do you ever fear that one day the enemy will be too strong?" she asked. Leo shook his head. "Fear is natural, but it cannot control actions. We prepare, we learn, and we fight when necessary. Courage is what keeps hope alive." Mira smiled, her eyes reflecting trust and admiration. "Then we are fortunate to have you here, Leo. Not just for your strength, but for your mind and heart." Leo felt a sense of peace, yet he knew the Queen's watchful eyes remained on him. He had earned trust through trials and battle, but the future would demand more. Greater challenges awaited, and he would face them with determination, courage, and loyalty. As the moons rose higher in the sky, casting light across the palace and the forests, Leo understood that his journey had only begun. The galaxy was vast and full of unknown dangers, but he had proven that humans could rise above expectations. His bond with Mira, the respect of the Queen, and the trust of Orvellian soldiers were all part of a path he was determined to follow. The shadows of war might always be near, but Leo had learned that courage, intelligence, and heart could light the way, and in that light, the future of Orvella and humanity was bound together, stronger than either could imagine. The morning sun bathed the Orvellian palace in a golden-green glow. Leo stood on the balcony overlooking the floating gardens, his mind filled with thoughts of everything that had happened. He had faced storms, trials, and attacks. He had earned the trust of the Queen, the respect of the soldiers, and the admiration of Princess Mira. Yet today would be the most important moment of all. The Queen had summoned him to the council chamber. Her tone was firm when she spoke earlier. "Human Leo," she had said, "you have proven yourself beyond doubt. You have defended this kingdom, earned the trust of our people, and shown courage, intelligence, and loyalty. Now you must make a choice." Leo knew what this meant. He could return to Earth, his home and family, or he could remain in Orvella, taking on a role as a protector of the kingdom. Both paths carried risks, responsibilities, and rewards. Princess Mira arrived at the balcony silently. She looked at him, her expression calm yet full of meaning. "Whatever choice you make, Leo, know that it will be respected. But I hope you understand what you have accomplished here. You are more than a visitor. You have become part of this world." Leo nodded. "I understand. But I must decide with a clear mind. This is not just about me. It is about Orvella, its people, and its future." The council chamber was vast and circular with crystal panels that reflected the light of the twin moons outside. The Queen sat at the center, flanked by advisors, generals, and Princess Mira. Leo stepped forward, feeling the weight of their gazes upon him. "Human Leo," the Queen said, "you have faced trials that would test even the most skilled Orvellians. You have shown that humans can rise to the challenge and that courage, intelligence, and heart are universal. Now you must choose your place among us. Will you remain under my authority, serve this kingdom, and protect our people?" Leo took a deep breath. He thought of the dangers he had faced, the collapsing structure where Mira had been trapped, the hostile aliens that had attacked the palace, the intense trials that tested his strength, intelligence, and character. He remembered the trust and bond he had built with Mira, and he remembered the respect he had earned from soldiers and citizens alike. "I will stay," he said finally. His voice was steady. "I choose to serve Orvella. I will protect this kingdom, its people, and Princess Mira. I will do everything I can to honor this trust." A moment of silence followed. The Queen studied him carefully, then nodded slowly. "Your decision is wise. You have chosen honor and responsibility over comfort and safety. That is the mark of a true protector." Princess Mira stepped forward, a smile lighting her face. "You have made the right choice, Leo. You have proven yourself in every way. Now you are truly part of Orvella." Leo felt a surge of pride and purpose. He had risked his life to save Mira, and now he was entrusted with the safety of an entire civilization. The weight of responsibility was heavy, but he felt ready. The Queen continued, her voice carrying authority and warmth. Leo, you will be given access to the palace's highest defenses, the strategies of our soldiers, and the resources needed to protect this kingdom. You will serve as a bridge between humans and Orvelians, ensuring that our alliance grows stronger with time. Leo bowed respectfully. I will serve with loyalty and courage, Your Majesty. The council chamber erupted in applause. Soldiers and advisors who had once doubted him now recognized his value. Leo could see admiration in their eyes, a mixture of respect and gratitude. He had earned his place not by birth but by courage, intelligence, and heart. After the council, Mira led Leo to a private balcony overlooking the city. The floating gardens glimmered under the twin moons, and the air was calm and fragrant with the scents of alien flowers. You have changed everything here, Mira said softly. The people will see humans differently because of you. You have proven that bravery, compassion, and intelligence are not limited to one species. Leo smiled faintly. I did what I had to do. Courage is not about being fearless. It is about acting when fear is present, and I could not ignore someone in danger. Mira reached out, her hand brushing lightly against his arm. And that someone became all of Orvella. You have saved lives, earned respect, and built trust. You are more than a hero, Leo. You are a symbol. Leo felt a warmth he could not describe. I never imagined this when I first arrived. I thought I was just helping one person. I did not know it would lead to this, Mira smiled. That is often how courage works. One act of bravery can ripple far beyond what we expect. The following weeks were filled with new responsibilities. Leo worked alongside Orvelian soldiers to improve defensive strategies, designed training programs that combined human and alien techniques, and studied interstellar threats. His presence became a source of inspiration and innovation. The Queen observed his actions closely. You continue to impress, she said one afternoon. Your skill, intelligence, and loyalty are unmatched. You have earned not only my trust but the trust of all Orvelian citizens, Leo bowed. I am honored, Your Majesty. I will continue to serve to the best of my ability. Princess Mira often accompanied him on patrols and strategic exercises. Together they analyzed potential threats and coordinated defensive operations. Their bond grew stronger, not only as allies but as friends who understood each other deeply. One evening, after a long day of planning, Mira and Leo stood on a balcony overlooking the palace. The light of the twin moons shimmered on the crystal towers and the air was calm. Do you ever regret your choice? Mira asked softly. Leo shook his head. Never. Every challenge, every danger, every trial has taught me something new. I have earned trust, built respect, and found a purpose. I cannot imagine returning to a life without these experiences. Mira smiled. And yet you still have so much ahead. The galaxy is vast and threats are never-ending. But I know you are ready, Leo nodded. I have learned that courage, intelligence, and heart can overcome prejudice, danger, and doubt. I will face whatever comes next with that knowledge. The Queen called a formal assembly to announce Leo's new role. Citizens, soldiers, and advisors gathered in the main plaza. The announcement was made that Leo, a human from another world, had been entrusted with the protection of Orvella. He would act as a defender, strategist, and representative of humans in the kingdom. The crowd erupted in cheers. Soldiers who had doubted him now saluted. Citizens waved and shouted words of encouragement. Leo stood beside Mira, feeling both humility and pride. He had risked his life for the princess, and now he was entrusted with the safety of an entire civilization. After the assembly, Mira took Leo to the palace gardens. The glowing plants swayed gently in the evening breeze. You have done more than I could have hoped, Mira said. You have shown that humans are capable of bravery, loyalty, and wisdom beyond what many expect. Leo looked at her, feeling a sense of peace. I did what I had to do. I only hope that my actions continue to inspire trust and cooperation between our worlds. Mira placed her hand on his shoulder. You have already inspired trust. You have earned respect, and you have become part of this world. That is more than most ever achieve. Leo felt the weight of responsibility and the warmth of accomplishment. He had come to Orvella as a stranger, faced countless dangers, and earned a place of honor. He had built bonds, saved lives, and proven that humans could rise above expectations. As the twin moons cast their light over the palace, Leo knew that his journey had only begun. Greater challenges would come, threats from distant stars and unknown factions, but he was ready. With courage, intelligence, and heart, he would face them all. The Queen's words echoed in his mind. Courage, intelligence, and loyalty are the marks of a true protector. Leo understood now that it was not just his actions, but his character that had earned him this role. And he would continue to prove that humans could stand alongside Orvelians as equals, as allies and as protectors of the galaxy. That night, he and Mira walked through the palace gardens, the soft glow of plants reflecting on their faces. The air was calm and the world seemed peaceful for the first time in weeks. "You have changed my life, Leo," Mira said quietly, "and I hope to continue learning from you side by side." Leo smiled. "And I have learned from you, Mira. You have shown me courage, wisdom, and the strength of a civilization united. I am honored to stand with you." The palace stood in quiet majesty around them, a symbol of trust, courage, and hope. Leo had risked his life for the princess, faced trials and battles, and now had secured a place in a world far beyond his own. The galaxy was vast, and danger would always exist, but humans had proven they could rise above expectations. And Leo would continue to lead by example, showing that bravery, intelligence, and heart could forge bonds that reached across the stars. He had made his choice. He had earned his place, and the future, full of challenges and discoveries, awaited him with promise. Leo was home.